Howdy folks, PC Cowboy back with you again for the second time in one day. Yes sir, this is a double play Thursday. Anyway, now that I got my stuff off my chest about the Maxine Waters situation, well, I hadn't totally got it off my chest. Got a little more on add to that, but I'll put it as a intro to this one. You see, the Democrats are real good about blaming the Republicans for what the Democrats are actually doing. Well, now, I figure first thing a person's got to do in life is to learn to be accountable. If you do something, whether it's good or bad, own it. What do I mean by own it? I mean, if you do something good, it takes credit. If you do something bad, it takes the blame. Now, that's all I'm going to say about that. Because now I want to talk about a whole nother topic. A topic that I'm quite proud to talk about. That pin right there on my hat. Now, I've already told y'all a little bit about the armadillos. I'm going to give you a little more of the background and a little more of what I see as the future of the armadillo. Now, the armadillos started off, there was 14 of us. Then the next year we added some more guys. Well, over the years, a lot of us have either died or gotten to the point where we feel we're so old we got to hang up our spurs. Folks, I'm old, but I ain't hanging up my spurs. The armadillos were a big part of who I am. In fact, they taught and lived the Western code, same as me. So, I have a lot of respect for the foundation of that group, and I'd like to see that group come back alive. Well, the only way I know to make that happen is for me to make it happen. Y'all ain't got to be cowboys and cowgirls to be an armadillo. I reckon instead of putting a pin on a hat, you could wear it on your lapel, or on your pocket, or wherever you want to wear it. And at some point, we may come up with enough funds. Yes, I did say funds, as in money. We may come up with enough money to get some patches done up. Now, our original uniform was a pair of black cowboy boots, a pair of blue jeans, white western shirt, hat, whatever color you wanted, with a red bandana and the armadillo. Some of us wore a armadillo, a red sash around our neck, a wild rag as it's called, and a few of them that was kind of wild and crazy took an idea from an old group called the Regulators. Y'all might want to look them up in your history books. They were a group of vigilantes that wore a red sash around their waist. I think they actually called themselves the Cowboys. Well, some of our guys took that as well. Me, I never did, because that looked a little too much like a kung fu sash, which in fact is what they used. And me, I was more into the Japanese arts. I ain't no David Carradine. But anyway, the armadillos, as I see it, we started off protecting women and weak fellow students. Now, if you guys, and notice I'm saying guys here, I'll get to the girls in a minute. If you guys want to be armadillos, you'll need to learn a bit about the code of the West. Now, I know some of you are saying, there ain't no official code of the West. Well, the code of the West was never written down. In fact, it really didn't get much fame until some of the Western dime store novels talked about it. Because you see, a lot of cowboys back in the old days couldn't read nor write. But they didn't have to read nor write to understand the code of the West, because it was written on their hearts. The code of the West is all about decency, fair play, honor, honesty, and integrity. And none of us are perfect, so I don't reckon there's ever been a man that's actually lived up to the whole code all of his life. But we strive to do the best we can. What the code's all about. I'm hoping that some of y'all will actually take an interest in learning more about the code. That'll do two things. Number one, it'll help the reviving of the armadillos. And number two, I think it'll help create a new nation of people values. One of the things that's wrong with the world today is that nobody seems to have values and honor and tradition. Oh, and another thing it'll do. If you contact me about the armadillos, it'll let me know you're listening to the videos. I know. Some of y'all like to listen without showing up, so you don't bother to log into the YouTube thing. And that's okay. I can understand that. Some of you are afraid that if you log in, that you just might wind up being held accountable for something. And wouldn't that be a shame to be expected to stand up for something you believe in? Yeah. I reckon there's other reasons, but, well, if y'all want to get more information on the armadillos, let me know. And if you don't let me know, then that's fine. I guess I'll just be the last Dilla. And hey, if some of y'all happen to know some of the other Dillas that are out there and maybe ain't online yet, tell them howdy from TK. And tell them I'd sure like to see them at the roundup. They'll know what you mean. Anyway, let's see, what else was I going to say about that? Oh yeah, notice I'm not wearing my glasses because I'm speaking from the heart for the second time today. I want y'all to know that the PC Cowboy is going to continue, even if y'all don't sign in to let me know I've got listeners. I see that I've got over 50 subscribers, and I hadn't had a video in a good while that's got that many viewers. I don't know, maybe it's because my videos ain't the kind of quality that some of these other guys are that have high budgets. You know, like old Chad Prather or Pastor David Locke. Them boys have got budgets. If I told you what my budget was, you'd laugh. Let's just say that, as a lot of you know, I'm a disabled cowboy. I'm on disability pay, which they say it's supplemental security income. Well, it don't supplement much. It ain't very secure, and I'd hardly call it income. But you know what? There's things in this life that are more valuable than money. And one of those things is honor. Another's integrity. and another is being able to look yourself in the mirror in the morning. Well, I've done some things that, to be honest about it, make it hard to look myself in the mirror in the morning. But I manage because I know I'm trying to do better. Now, y'all all know that I've got a pretty standard sign-off that I use. But I'm not going to use that now. I'm just going to say, folks, if you're a constitution-loving American patriot, I don't care if you're an independent or a Republican, because I don't think the Democrats like the Constitution much, since it stands for everything they're against and stands for everything they're for. I want to ask y'all, and also some of you that may be planning on going down and helping protect our border, it wouldn't offend me at all if you was to wear red. Matter of fact, it'd just tickle the old PC Cowboy real big time if I hear about a bunch of folks going down there wearing red and turning back the invaders. Now, I understand the 82nd Airborne and several other military units have been dispatched to the scene. Don't get in their way. They're not the enemy. Support them. And I'm going to again stress that I do not advocate violence against fellow Americans. I do not advocate violence against even Democrats. But let's be clear. If somebody tries to come into your house uninvited and tries to live under your roof without your consent, you've got every right to defend your property, to defend yourself. Well, folks, I don't know if you know it or not, but America is your property. This is our country. This ain't the politicians' country. It sure as heck ain't the Democrats' country. I think it's about time we take our country back, don't y'all? So, all I'm going to say this time is God bless you. Those of you that are able to go to the border and defend the border, work with the authorities who are defending the border. Those of you who can't, there's still something you can do. You can pray for those who are going down to the border to protect our country. Whether they're in the uniform of this country or whether they're just a bunch of ragtag cowboys. And I said earlier I'd talk to the ladies for a minute. Ladies, the Armadillos was probably one of the first to break down the barrier between the sexes, because we allowed women. You know, there's this group called the Masons. Well, now, they don't figure women are good enough to be Masons, but they created this outfit called the Order of the Eastern Star. That's for the women. Keeps them away from the men so the men can do what they want to do. Let me tell you something, ladies. Out west, when the country was being settled, the women worked just as hard as the men, and some of them even harder, because some of them lost their men and had to do both the man's job and their own. Those women deserve a lot of respect, and I believe there's some women out there today with a frontier spirit, and them women that's got that frontier spirit, ladies, you're all right in my book. Now, having said that, I want y'all to know that the PC Cowboy is willing to continue the acceptance of women into the Armadillos that the original founders had. Actually, there were 3 of us that started the group, and then we added 10 more, and then we added more and more and more. Well, you know, in the old days, each one of us had to provide our own uniforms, our own equipment. And it's that way right now. But if we do decide to, and there was no charge originally. Now, if y'all would like I don't know, a wall plaque identifying yourselves as an armadillo, or maybe a wallet card, I'll design them, but I'll need help paying for them. If y'all want one, let me know. And if I get people willing to donate about $50, I think I can get a batch of them done. Because you got to order a certain number of things, and I'd probably go with an order of 1,000 wall size and 1,000 wallet. Not that I'm expecting that many people, mind you, but because that way, that's about the cheapest route you can go to get a run done is 1,000. Now, if y'all are of a mind to join up and become a full-fledged armadillo, I know what the cards are going to look like. It's going to have the armadillo's creed on the back. It's going to have your name on the front, and maybe even a picture. I don't know. Maybe not, because that'd require way too much computer work. But it will have the armadillo's logo on there, the one we originally used. I want y'all to know that opening it up is also opening up a part of me. I try to be pretty much who I am online, because I don't respect people that are one way in person and one way online. So, those of you who join the Armadillos, you'll find that, that I'm very much who I say I am. And I stand by my word. I'm hoping to find other like-minded individuals out there. But, I keep coming up with stuff to say, but I think what I'm going to say at this point, once again, is God bless you. This is the PC Cowboy. I'm signing off.